needs help. And that youngster. And he must have everything of the best. It can be done.
You wouldn't think, to look at him, that 3 years ago he'd been given up for dead. That was in the desert. His life and many others were saved by blood transfusion in the field. In those days, all over Britain, thousands of people were giving their blood for the forces. It's peacetime now, but the hospitals still need blood, almost as much as they needed during the war. They need it for the battle against disease, to help to win through operations, to fight for the lives of sick babies. This war never stops. We can all help. If you are already a donor, give your blood when called upon. If not, volunteer when there is an appeal in your area. Lifeblood is still urgently needed to save the casualties of peace. It might be you.
O woman in our hours of ease, uncertain, coy, and hard to please, when pain and anguish wring the brow, a ministering angel thou. Yes, a ministering angel, though they call her a ward orderly. And there are other ministers just as important. The Minister of Food, for instance, and all her cooks and assistants. The ministers who sew, do the laundry, keep the hospitals spick and span. All of them helping those who most need help, the sick.
Our hospitals need 10,000 more women to do domestic work. Fighting sickness without them is fighting with one arm tied behind our backs. If you think you would like the work, be an angel and come and help.
Nurse. Nurse. Nurse, I want you.
Nurse Edwards, can you go to her? Dr. Clark's waiting. I don't suppose he'll mind.
Yes, our nurses are busy and overworked because there aren't enough of them. Many hospitals have closed wards because of that. Who will help? You will? Good. But you can't like that, you know. First, you must learn nursing. It isn't difficult. While you're learning, you're paid. The job is interesting and there's plenty of companionship. 1 day off a week and 4 weeks paid holiday a year. And the most satisfying job of all, healing. Ask at your local Ministry of Labour office or a hospital for details of how to become a nurse. There are 30,000 needed.
Every 15 minutes, a child is taken ill with diphtheria. Every 5 hours, a child dies from diphtheria. Last year, 51,163 people, mostly children, were attacked. Mother, do you realize what an unprotected child will suffer if diphtheria strikes? Diphtheria germs enter the mouth and nose, and here they produce sores. From this point, a deadly poison spreads to the central nervous system, to the kidneys, and the heart. Once the disease has reached this stage, the child is sure to die. But when the child has been immunized, a powerful protective force awaits the entry of the diphtheria germs. Before they can entrench themselves and spread their fatal poison, they are attacked, weakened, and often totally destroyed. Mother, have you forgotten to protect your child?
In olden days, The spirited young man's ambition was to run away to sea, where he could taste adventure and comradeship. Nowadays, the spirit of adventure is as strong as ever. The call of the sea has been replaced by the call of the air. The Royal Air Force must be kept up to strength to maintain the peace. Aircraft and everything to do with them gripped the imagination of the young men of today. Young men who are eager to gain the scientific and engineering knowledge on which the RAF depends. If you want to learn a trade worth doing, if you like sport, an open-air life, contact with flying, and you're between 17.5 and 33, then join the Royal Air Force. A grand job with a grand future.
What lies beyond the horizon? This question has always inspired the adventurous. Let's take a look. Yes, you've got to take the rough with the smooth if you go to sea. But after the storm, the calm. Southward, through blue seas, under clear skies, towards strange romantic lands. Gone are most of the hardships of the days of Drake. Today there is good food, and even ice cream to follow. For those who want it, grog. A call at Malta, Alexandria, and then through the Suez Canal, further south to Bombay, Sydney, Hong Kong. In ports all over the world, you will make new friends, find new excitements. The spirit of adventure still lives. If you long to find out what lies beyond the horizon, join the Navy and see the world.
Are you a clerk? Do you work in a store? Can you drive a car? If yours is a similar job, your Army experience can help you to improve it by joining the RAOC. This corps is one of the biggest and most up-to-date business houses in the world. You'll be working with the most modern equipment, such as forklift trucks and the conveyor belt system. There's a job to suit you on the commercial or technical side, a job with responsibility, such as the operation of an industrial gas unit, laboratory work, examining ammunition, or the disposal of old enemy ammunition. It's an interesting life in the Royal Army Ordnance Corps.
While a wren is taking down this message somewhere in Britain, somewhere else, wrens are helping to cook and cater for the naval personnel. They are controlling stores at many naval establishments, including Malta. They are working in naval dental establishments, doing essential and interesting work. They are testing and maintaining radio equipment in naval aircraft. These are only a few of the jobs done by the wrens. Their life is interesting and varied, and is helping the Navy.
What's this, the shape of things to come? A fellow like this should have quite a future. Even the bike, he should get on fast. And no time wasted breaking for tea. They should give a bright lad like this a rise. But they just don't appreciate his genius here. He should try somewhere else that does. The Remy, for instance. With them, he can make things all the time. Why not think it over? When you register, say you want to serve in the most modern corps in Britain's modern army. The Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers.
What have you got there, son?
Chips. Have one. Pass the potatoes, please, Dan.
They seem pretty fond of potatoes here, too. And here. But who doesn't like the humble spud? Most of us like potatoes with our dinner, just as most of us like sugar with our tea.
1 lump or 2, Mrs. B.
Now, both potatoes and sugar beet have to be grown and harvested. So if you want to make sure of chips with your fish and sugar with your tea, help the farmers by spending a week or more, if you can, at a volunteer agricultural camp in September or October. You're paid £1 an hour for your work, and board and lodging cost 28 shillings a week. It's a country holiday with pay. Farmers and farm workers have worked hard to grow these crops, so let's back them up and help with the harvesting. Your head post office will tell you where to apply for full details about volunteer agricultural camps. Hey, not you, Sonny. Campers must be 17 or over, but children living in the country can help the farmer from their homes.
Vitamin C builds up our vitality, especially in winter. In the old days, sailors on long voyages often suffered from a disease called scurvy. This was found to be caused by the lack of fresh fruit and vegetables. So in 1795, the Admiralty issued a standing order saying that every man aboard ship must have an ounce of lemon juice per day. We now know that fresh fruit and vegetable juice are valuable because they are rich in vitamin C. We cannot produce or import enough fruit in wartime, but we are growing more green vegetables to take their place. Some of these are richer in vitamin C than fruit. Vegetables which are rich in vitamin C are all the cabbage family, such as collies, broccoli, also spinach, mustard and cress, and watercress. Through the campaign to grow more vegetables, the nation is now self-supporting in vitamin C. Vitamin C can be lost in bad cooking. And this is what happens if you cook your green vegetables too long or in too much water. You will get more value out of green vegetables if you eat them raw as part of your salads. Remember, your garden will provide you with green vegetables all the year round. For fitness, vitamin C.
And I do further say that they came to their death by misadventure. Every precaution has been taken by the authorities.
Yes, precautions have been taken, but people still die. People who ignore this, or this, or this. The contents of these boxes are designed to kill. A few miles of our coastline have yet to be cleared of mines, so watch out for this. It spells danger. Remember, the whole country was a battlefield for 6 years. Wherever you go, even where there are no notices, danger may still be lurking. So don't forget, watch your step.
Who's that at the door? Go on, Mrs. Smith. It might be important. All right. Johnny, you answer it. No? What about you, Mary? Bad luck, Dad. You again. Don't like the look of this one. Thought as much. Now, was that the right thing to do? That's better. Matter of fact, it's very important you look at this one. It's the explanation of how pay-as-you-earn is going to work in April, and it tells you the amount of the allowances you're entitled to. £140 a year for a married couple, £50 a year for each child during its education, and £50 a year for a dependent relative. Insurance. In this case, it's £10. So this family's code number is 50. Check this with the list of codes to see that your allowance is correct. If you think the coding is wrong, you should at once inform the Inspector of Taxes, or where the necessary arrangements are made through your employer, by seeing an income tax official at your place of employment.
We must export our goods to all parts of the world. But to do so, we've got to have cardboard to pack them in. We can either import cardboard and pay for it with money which could be buying these, and these, or salvage all the paper we can, of every sort and kind. If we don't bother to, there won't be any cardboard for packing our exports. And, in fact, our export trade will vanish into thin air.
Baby.
Here are your two hands. During the war, they worked very hard. And now they're tired. And they're tired of this, too. Shortages still. To put an end to them, we must produce the goods. Steady production now will buy our imports of food and raw materials and fill the shops again with the things we all want. Output will do it. The Smith family is feeling pretty good. They've just been enjoying the Sunday joint. Father has got his pipe going, Betty is pleased with her new frock, and Mother is enjoying her cup of tea. We depend on imports for our main supplies of tea. Meat, tobacco, cotton, and a great many other things too. But does that worry the Smiths? They're solidly behind the export drive. Because the more we export, the more we import, and the better off we shall all be.
The locomotive was invented in the first country in the world to be industrialized, Great Britain. For 120 years, the British iron founders have been making the finest products in the world. Now, in these post-war years, they are working harder than ever before. But they are seriously short of men. Without more labor, the iron and steel trades cannot work at full pressure. These are some of the products which have been made for Britain by men of the British iron foundries. This is a good job, and men are wanted.